Hello everyone, in this video we are going to learn how to solve quadratic inequalities. As you know, quadratic inequalities are of the form ax squared plus bx plus c greater or equal, greater, less or less than 0, where a is a non-zero number and a, b and c are real numbers. There are some steps you need to take in order to solve such inequalities. Step 1, write in the standard form. What it means is that if you have, for example, a constant number or a variable on the right hand side, transfer whatever you have to the other side to have 0 on the right hand side. Step 2, solve corresponding equation and find the roots. It means that here these less or equal or greater are replaced by equal to make a quadratic equation to solve, then find roots. Step 3, construct the change of sign table and decide about the required regions. Okay. Now let's see an example. Example 1, solve the inequality to x squared minus 5x minus 14 greater than 0. Now, step 1 is to transfer whatever you have to the left hand side to have 0 on the right hand side. So step 1 is skewed as you have 0 on the right hand side. So it is already in the standard form. Step 2, you should solve corresponding quadratic equation. I don't know why I keep writing 2 at the beginning. So it is x squared minus 5x minus 14 is equal to 0. I do factorization. It will be x plus 2 times x minus 7 is equal to 0, giving you an answer of x is equal to negative 2 and x is equal to 7. Now I construct a change of sign table. Now it is x and it is our quadratic expression. The first roots should be written in ascending order. First smallest one, then the larger one, then here it will become 0 at this point. At this point 7, this expression will take the value of 0. Now we should see how it will change. As you know, this expression is a quadratic expression bending upwards if you construct the graph. Why? Because a is 1, which is greater than 0. It means that your curve here bends upwards. So when it bends upwards, before the first root, it takes positive value. Between the roots, as you see, it takes negative value. And after the second root, it takes again positive value. So it means that this expression before negative 2 is positive, between negative 2 and 7, as the graph indicates, is negative, and after 7 is also positive. So as the answer, we want the interval in which this expression is taking positive values because it says greater than 0. So these two intervals are our required intervals. So x is less than negative 2 or x is greater than 7. These are the final answers. Now, let's see another example. Example 2. Solve inequality 2x squared plus 3x less or equal to 27. Now, step 1, as on the right hand side you have 27, it should be rewritten as standard quadratic inequality in which right hand side you have 0. So I first transfer 27 to the left hand side, so it would be less or equal to 0. Next step is to solve corresponding quadratic equation. It will be 2x squared plus 3x minus 27 is equal to 0. If you factorize it, you can use quadratic formula completing a square method, but I use factorization here. 2x plus 9 times x minus 3 is equal to 0. It gives you two roots. One of them is minus 9 over 2 or negative 4.5. The second one is 3. Now, next step is to construct a sign table and decide about signs. Now, 2x squared plus 3x minus 27. The smallest root is minus 9 over 2, and the larger one is 3. At these 2 points, it takes the value of 0. Now, sign. This curve bends upwards as a, which is your leading coefficient, is positive. So it bends upwards as you see here. Now here the first root, here the second root. Before the first root, it takes positive values. Between the roots, it takes negative values. And after the second root, it takes again positive values. Do you see it's above x-axis, for example, it is x and y, they are roots. It's positive. So it says, I want the interval in which this expression takes values less or equal to 0. As it says equal to 0, so it means that these two boundaries are also included. So this is the answer between 3 and negative 9 over 2. As it says equal to 0, here also it has equal, so the boundary is also included. Now let's see another example. Example 3. 3. Solve inequality minus x squared minus 5x minus 6 greater or equal to 0. It is already a standard, so there is no need to transfer anything to the other side. So I just solve the corresponding quadratic equation. Minus 5x minus 6 is equal to 0. I factor minus, then it will be x plus 2 times x plus 3 is equal to 0. So there are two roots, negative 2 and negative 3. Now we need to construct a sign table, change of sign table. Actually, x here, I write the smallest root first, then the next one, here it takes 0. Here it is our expression, minus 5x minus 6. Now we need to decide about signs. Here, as you see, the leading coefficient a is negative 1, which is less than 0. It means that your curve bends downwards. The first root, the second root. Before the first root, it is negative because it is below x-axis. Between the roots, it will be here, which is positive. After the second root, it will be again negative. What interval do we need? The interval in which this expression takes values greater or equal to 0. So this interval is our answer. X needs to be between negative 3 and negative 2 to make sure that this expression will take values greater or equal to 0. Thanks for watching this video.